Hello everyone, my name is Gamer Zach and welcome back to Dev Q&A for Ara History Untold. If this is your first time with us, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as we'll be releasing new content each month leading up to launch. In today's episode, we've gathered more questions from you, our wonderful community, and joining us is the president and co-founder of Oxide Games, Marc Meyer. Marc, welcome to the show. How's everything going at Oxide?
Oh, thank you. It's so good to be here. Things are going great. We've got an incredible team, and we're firing on all cylinders, trying to get Ara ready for everyone. We're through our feature and content complete milestones, and now we're finding all the places we can add polish and improve performance so that Ara is as best as it can possibly be.
That's fantastic. Now, we have a lot of excited Ara fans out there, and hopefully we'll be able to provide some answers. So first up, we have Rain Jarek 13 on YouTube, who says, the game looks gorgeous, and I can't wait for autumn. I did notice a couple of rivers that didn't seem to be flowing in a way that made sense in the footage shown. It looked like the water was flowing bank to bank, not up or downstream. Super minor, but I hope the team is able to figure that out before launch.
Yeah, terrain generation is just an incredibly complex beast. I'm very lucky to have people who understand it better than I do. I can tell you we are constantly revising it and continuing to look at ways to improve the speed and eliminate edge cases and things that happen in the maps. You know, we want people to be generating these things constantly. We're trying to get it nice and fast so that you can start a new game and see a new world over and over and over. So there's tons of edge cases that we're getting into and addressing and cleaning up. Regions that are too big, regions that are too small, and rivers that go from one place and don't really make any sense. That's all stuff that has been getting looked at. So hopefully once you get your hands on it, you will always see a beautiful world.
That's fantastic to hear, because I'm also just a fan of those tiny little details that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But, you know,
they just make you feel better as a player when you see those little things and you can look around the world and find, oh, look at this beautiful river and this beautiful delta.
Next up, we have Xiaomeng HL on Twitter, who writes, may I ask if there will be significant differences in the characteristics of each historical leader?
Yeah, so we've got two sort of systems that work in conjunction for that. We have minor traits for all of the leaders, which sort of dictate some parts of their behavior that are going to be shared between them. And then a major feature for that's unique for every leader. So for the minor stuff, we could say that like Catherine the Great is, I think, charismatic and innovative, which would put her a little at odds with, say, Ram Kamhang, who has the aloof and traditional features, traits. Now, those won't force you into direct conflict with these leaders, of course, but they will color your interactions with them. So those traits are kind of small things that we sprinkle here and there across all of the leaders to give them different traits. But the feature that goes along with each leader is more of a major unique thing. There's a specialized buff or set of buffs that go along with each of these. So, for example, George Washington has, I think, the Minuteman feature, which lets him produce troops faster and with higher health than other nations. So in that way, we've got lots of different sort of things that we can tweak about these leaders and see how they're going to play differently from each other.
All right, so while we're on the topic of leaders, we have another question from Folk Hero 2145, who writes, if the AI doesn't cheat or get X% bonuses as the difficulty increases, what then differentiates the levels? Is the AI's behavior modified?
Yeah, the AI behavior changes as the difficulty level goes up. We can put in tweaks to make sure that they are more aggressive at higher levels or doing planning further in advance to make sure that their triumph building comes out even faster. One of our best AI engineers actually just gave a talk at GDC where he went into how sophisticated our planning architecture is for the AI. And this just opened up a whole world for us to be able to say, at this difficulty level, you know, Genghis Khan is going to be even more aggressive when coming after you, which is just incredible. So we can tweak that behavior, which is going to be wonderful. And then if we want, at even higher difficulty levels to provide the best challenge, we'll also allow the AI to cheat some, just to provide players with as much challenge as they want, if that's what they want.
Moving on to our dev diary covering scouts, we had a few comments there. Dylan Bromele 906 writes, so it seems like you start with a pre-placed city. Not sure I'm the happiest about that. Sometimes I like to walk a few tiles, particularly for a place on the coast or a lake, for a spot. Let's see how this plays out. Nice to see more gameplay, though.
So that's an interesting question. Originally we did start out with just 2 units that you would have in the game, a hunter and a gatherer, which I thought was tremendously clever. But the way it played out wasn't that much fun, is what we found. Because of the way the game grows exponentially, you need to get your city going as fast as you can. And what we found was that it was, while some players did like being able to choose that location, it almost universally put them in a disadvantage. And so we decided to try and get the player directly into the heart of Ara right away and give you that city and let you start growing immediately.
Another comment on that video comes from Malti9354, who writes, interesting that we see a bit more of how units move, etc. We've seen so little real action. Can't you make a first 10 turns special video?
That's a good question. We definitely could do that. That seems like that would be a good thing that people would like. So yeah, absolutely. I think we can find a way to make that happen.
Yeah, I'd love to see that as well. All right. So finally, we have WBO Brown 2 on Twitter, who says, I can't explain what I felt watching the trailer. It's like everything I wanted from a video game.
Oh my God, that's so nice to hear. It just makes me smile deep down. We've been pouring blood, sweat, and tears into Ara for a long time now, and it makes me so happy to hear that people are excited about it, and I cannot wait for you all to see it. I really think you're going to love what we've done.
All right, this has been fantastic. Thank you once again for joining us, Marc. Anything you'd like to say to the fans before you go?
Thanks so much for having me today. I just can't wait for you guys to get your hands on Ara later this year. The Insider program is getting updates all the time and is a great way to follow Ara.
And thank you to our fans for watching. Be sure to subscribe for future Dev Diary episodes. Follow on the social platforms of your choice and wishlist Ara History Untold on Steam. Also, be sure to sign up for the Insider program, as we'll be sending out new updates soon, including a chance to play the game before it launches later this year. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.